All right. Good morning. Today's October 2nd, Monday, October 2nd. Welcome to Title Talk with Corey. This is episode 11. I hope you guys had a great weekend. We've got a special guest in the studio today. Legendary, renowned keyboardist, badass Charles Dollison is in the house today.
I got the world on my mind.
Stay tuned. Stand by.
Running out of time.
Sooner or later they'll see why I see why I got the realest flow. Son of the dark, but I still got the illest flow. And it's ironic to me how a chronic MC can try me before he dropped the chronic CD. You see, it all started in the CPT. When Nina rolled the shotguns to the fleet C3. Keep the pound in the middle like DPG. Now they love me in the late like CP3. I'm ballin', shout out to Uncle Warren. And all the pretty girls will see it out while I'm touring. Signing autographs, otherwise I'll ignore them. While I got this rider chick that I'm adoring. Yo.
Center stages and spotlights. Oh, baby. People craze with the fantasy pop life. Social frenzies. Who's your next bestie, baby? False realities and drugstore remedies. I got the world on my mind. It may be never comes. We're out of time, babe. I got the world on my mind. It may be never comes. We're out of time, babe.
All right. Stand by.
From Tokyo to LA, stop your evil ways. Show this place your love. Making brighter days. Take the light and shake the dream. I can't believe it now. You have to flip the page and you can really see it now. I got the world on my mind. Yes, it's on my mind. Running out of time. Out of time.
Young.
I got the world. I got the world. Yeah, yeah. I got the world, baby. I got the world, baby. I got the world, baby. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Woo! All right. Well, good morning. Welcome to Title Talk with Corey. This is episode 11, and I'm excited. I have a special guest. This is my first in-studio guest today. A dear friend of mine, a local legend, really. And I can't say enough about Charles Dollison, who's joining me today. Just a great guy, all-around great guy. Charles.
Good morning.
Hey.
Good morning. What's going on?
What's going on, world? So yeah, if you're a music lover, live music lover, and you live in Southern California, chances are you've had a chance to check out Charles performing. He's performed all over California and also the United States. He's just an amazing guy. So welcome to the studio today, Chuck.
Thank you.
This
Thank
is
you
my
for having me.
yeah, of course, man. This is my first, like I said, in studio guest, and so hopefully if you stick around during the podcast today, you'll get to hear a little sample, a little flavor. We're gonna put on a little bit of music for you, play a little music for you a little bit later. But first of all, I want to reach out if you guys need anything this week. Don't forget to reach out to me, Corey Title Rep Yeah, it's 626-392-7993. It's direct line. And you can reach me by email, open@CoreyTitleRep.com. If you guys need any farms run this week. This is my weekly check-in, by the way. I want to make sure that everybody knows. I'm up here every Monday, 11 a.m., YouTube Live, streaming, and then later on it will broadcast out to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, wherever there's podcasts are. You'll have access to the broadcast today. So this is going to be special. I've been knowing him for, gosh, I think probably a long time. Yeah,
I don't know.
it's been probably about a good 30 years.
At least.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no, longer probably.
Probably.
Yeah, because I was a kid. My father was a musician. He's no longer with us. But
great guitar player too.
yeah. And so I think he turned me on to you, Chuck.
Yes.
And we've done a lot of gigs together ourselves. And for those of you who know me, probably know that I'm a saxophonist. I dabble a little bit on guitar. But Charles is one of the most well-known keyboardists, I think, in the LA area. And I don't say that lightly. I mean, everybody knows who you are in town.
I hope so.
No, and I remember we had well, you were really good friends with the late great drummer Ricky Lawson.
Yes, I was.
Yeah, and
Great friend of mine.
amazing guy.
Yes.
Incredible drummer. I mean, if you guys don't know who Ricky Lawson was, he
And he taught me a lot of things too.
He did. He taught me some stuff too.
Yes.
He's one of the greatest drummers ever. Probably at least top 5 drummers in the world. Played with Michael Jackson, Paul McCartney, Phil Collins,
Steely Dan.
Yes.
Babyface.
Yeah. He played with everybody. The list was huge. But I remember being in the studio, in your studio, and you got this wall of fame, I say, pictures of you with Stevie Wonder, Ricky Lawson,
And my band.
your band.
Different projects and so forth.
So if you've been out there listening to any live music, you might have, or years back there was a great local band called Pacific Breeze.
Pacific Breeze Jazz.
Yeah. So now today, this is the new 2.0 version of Pacific Breeze.
Jazz.
Pacific Breeze Jazz. And they're local right now. They've been playing locally here in LA County and around LA County. So if you get a chance to check them out, Chuck will definitely share. Where are you playing next?
Well,
Where you
we're
guys playing?
playing a place called the Pour House. It's called Pour House. It's spelled Pour House.
The pour as in a drink, right?
Pouring something. Yeah. And it's located in Monrovia. The address is 405 South Myrtle. Myrtle is spelled Mytle, Myrtle Street.
Yeah, you'll want to check that out because, like I said, Chuck has played with so many great musicians. I mean, you've played with a lot of people. Everybody knows who you are. And so that was one of the things that I wanted to share with listeners out there, in the area. You get a chance to come out and check out some really, really good live music. You'll get to hear some of the best talent that's off the road right now. Usually you'll have people like, Michael Alvarado, guitar player for Sheila E. I mean, the list goes on with all the people that, he's played with, but you'll get to see just a great lineup of musicians. And sometimes you rotate those guys out.
Of course.
And I'm still hoping that I'll get into that little rotation.
Yeah, it's
Putting you on the spot, man.
It's a matter of hanging with other musicians and playing and learning and sharing ideas and it's really like a family to me. And so of course what I do, I inspire a lot of people, younger people too.
Yes.
In their music.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
And talk to them, and sometimes I teach a little bit, and I just show them some things about music, and it's just a lifetime thing for me.
Right. That's what I love about you, Charles, is that you are always giving to younger musicians, not just musicians, but anybody who needs,
Of
you
course,
know,
of
that
course.
kind of support. You've been giving your whole life, and that's why I want to have you on. I want to tell your story.
Okay.
Because
All
also,
right.
you know, you're very special, and you know, if you don't mind, I want to, you know, if I could share with them that you've had hearing impairment. That was since birth, right?
Yeah, from both.
From-
Congenital nerve deafness from
Yeah.
both. I mean, I can hear,
Yeah.
but it's the nerve deafness that caused me to have an impairment.
Right,
And so I was born with it.
right,
But through the years, I was able to hear somewhat. And I was inspired by my mother and my sister playing the piano.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And then later on, I started listening to the media, the television, and radio, Ray Charles
Oh, Ray Charles.
and Ramsey Lewis, and that's how I got my start.
Yeah. See, I never knew all that about you.
Well, it's really pretty long story, and it's a lot of development for me.
Yeah.
And of course, I stayed in public schools and education.
Yeah.
I grew up in a home where, you know, there's a lot of love abound,
Yeah.
you know, and so they made sure that I heard what they said, my family, that is.
Wow.
They made sure that I understood, but my mom detected my hearing impairment when I was a little baby.
Oh, really?
And of course, I went to specialists.
Uh-huh.
They took me out and they diagnosed. I mean, they just said, well, he probably needs a hearing aid.
Right.
But I
And
didn't
this
get
is
it
just as an infant or as a
as an
toddler?
infant
Yeah.
and grown into grade school.
Yeah. Right.
And so it became something. But I never wore a hearing aid when I was younger,
Yeah.
a little boy,
Right.
because it was. They made sure that I could hear
Yeah.
and be talking. I was talking, you know, but I was quiet.
Yeah. So, because now you're like 95% deaf. Is that right? Or
Well, I wouldn't say completely deaf, but
But-
really impaired to about maybe 90%,
90%.
something like that. It's very hard to assess
yeah.
the percentage because I lived it all my life.
Yeah. Wow.
So I don't know what it is. For example, like you have normal hearing,
Yeah.
and it's very hard for me to determine
Yeah.
what it is because I lived it all my life
Yeah.
with my impairment. So, but I had to adjust to normal living life,
Yeah.
everyday situation like anybody else.
Right.
So I became successful at it.
Yeah. You didn't know any better. What you didn't know what it sounded. What everything
No.
really sounded like.
No, I
what
didn't.
What blows me away, you know. I mean, I just love all that. What you're telling me, the story, you know, because I'm hoping that, you know, somebody, you know, you will inspire. Your message will inspire other young children
course.
who
Yeah.
have those dreams of playing music, and you know, not necessarily look at it, you know, like you can't hear because you're doing some
Exactly.
amazing things. And I remember a conversation that I had with Ricky Lawson about
Okay.
you,
Okay,
and he just adored you. He loved you, man.
of course.
And you know, of course, he passed away, you know, a few years ago.
In 2013, late 2013.
Yeah, but right, you know, before that, you know, we were talking in the studio, or I don't remember if it was because I know he came and sat in on a few gigs with
Yes, he
you,
did.
and he was telling me that everybody knows who you are. He said that he tell everybody. Stevie Wonder, he told Joe Sample,
Yes, he did.
and that Joe Sample
He
wanted
invited me to Joe Sample with
Joe
when they did a
Sample,
recording for
the legendary keyboardist
and-
right,
another
another legend.
Exactly. And so I was in the studio with Ricky Lawson. He introduced me to Joe Sample, which I had already met Joe Sample years before
Yeah.
in person.
Oh, okay.
But in this particular studio in Culver City, he introduced me to Anita Baker.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They were doing
he was her
recording.
musical director too, right? Or was it?
At that time.
Yeah, okay,
At that time.
right.
And so so he had me to play the piano for Joe Sample
Really?
at that time
In the studio?
in the studio
Wow.
after they did the recording.
Now this is Joe Sample, because
Yes.
we've been like, we
Yes.
played a lot of stuff of Joe Sample and the Crusaders. And,
Well, right now I try to, yes.
so you're in the
So
studio
anyway.
with someone who you, I mean, really admire.
Yeah, I mean,
know,
he's
his
my
sound.
mentor,
Yeah,
and I'm here in the studio with him.
yeah.
And so we play for Joe Sample.
Wow.
Sit down on the piano, on the big grand piano. He was, I believe, it was a Yamaha
Oh,
7-footer.
Wow. Okay.
And so I sat down on the piano and just
Yeah.
started playing some stuff that he wrote. One,
wow.
for example, like "Put It Where You Want It" was one song,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
and another, I forgot the other song. So Joe Sample was standing behind me, over my head, watching me play,
Yeah.
and I get a little nervous playing,
Wow.
but I did play, and he admired it. He said, "Wow, okay," and he, of course, Ricky told him about my hearing
Right.
impairment, and he was quite taken away, blown away.
Yeah.
And so he said, "Well, okay," and then he showed me a few things himself.
Really?
So I had to be like a spy. I said, "Okay, I'm all ears.
Yeah.
Show me what you got."
Yeah.
But it was a wonderful experience.
So now from what I remember is you can't really hear the higher register of the chords that you're playing.
No, I can't. Not very well. It's been like that ever since I was born.
Yeah.
And but when I play on the piano, I play the whole keyboard on the high register. I play even though I don't hear it
Wow.
because I know the geography of the piano,
Yeah.
and because I understand music theory,
Right. Right.
and everything is relative on the keyboard.
Oh yeah.
So yes, I play up in the high registers by faith, you might say.
See, that's just incredible.
And with
Yeah.
dynamic,
Yeah.
with the touch that I have,
I know.
and so I don't have to hit it hard just to hear it. I just know it's there,
It's there. Yeah.
and I just play it. And of course, the keyboard is in tune. I know that,
Yeah.
and so that's part of the. It is part of the thing that I do, and just playing by faith,
Yeah.
and
I mean that's
and
amazing.
because I know it's there.
Yeah. Wow.
That's all it is. And it's a gift.
Yeah.
The gift
Oh,
by
it
God.
is absolutely.
From God that I have.
Absolutely. No, you have a unique sound and touch. You can definitely hear
Yes.
that when you,
And
when
that
you play with
developed over the years.
it. Yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome. I love that's what again going back to you eat, sleep, and breathe music.
Well,
I mean, everything is music, which is awesome. You know what I mean? I just if you're not arranging something in the studio or working on a recording or something, you're like helping some kid out.
whoever. And I'm always listening to music.
I think
too.
every musician
on the
in
radio.
LA has been in your studio.
Not everybody, but,
But a lot of people.
Few.
A lot of people.
Yes, they have.
Yeah,
And so
including my son.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's true. That's true. And but I spend a lot of time listening to music too myself,
Yeah.
and it is it's like practicing on music.
It is. It's just always going on. Even just
Everything is based upon
even thinking
hearing.
about it is even thinking about music is like practice.
Yes,
Yeah.
and hearing.
Yeah, and hearing it.
In spite of my hearing loss, the impairment that I have,
Yeah.
it's still about hearing. And if it, with me, there's also my eyesight too. So I have to see what, it's part of my hearing too.
Yeah.
Because I have to, like when I'm playing, and sometimes I may be moving my head sideways.
Yeah.
I'm directing the band when I do that.
Right.
Just like Ray Charles. Ray Charles
Yeah,
cannot hear. I mean, I'm sorry.
Can't see. Yeah.
He cannot see.
Right.
But when he passed away now a long time ago.
Yep.
But Ray Charles, when he's playing the piano and moving his body back and forth on the piano, he is directing the band, his orchestra, behind him.
Yep.
And similarly, I do the same thing with my eyes or with my head as I'm playing. And but not directly. I'm not really totally involved in directing. I'm just really just having a good time because it's just part of my body movement. I'm just having a good time playing.
Yeah. I know. I noticed that. I've seen you do that. On
Yeah.
stage, how you move how you do it. I do see you moving that. And then you also read lips too.
Of course, I do that.
Yeah.
I do that, and sometimes I have to do that. And
Yeah.
and when I play, of course, I don't wear hearing aid when I play because
you don't?
No,
I
because
didn't know
it's too
that.
overwhelming. It's too much.
It's too, yeah.
It's,
That makes sense.
How can I say it? It is like too loud for one aspect,
Right.
and it's too much highs.
Oh.
Because
So
of,
do the highs actually bother you? The high
Yes,
the
it
high
does.
frequencies? Oh, okay.
Yes,
so,
it does. Uh-huh.
So-
and it's too much, and it is because of the diagnosis, the hearing aid, the audiologist that I've had or have had over the years. They don't want to change the prescription of the hearing aid itself. The hearing aid is designed to amplify the high, boost it up so I can hear.
Yeah.
Well, that's good only for conversation and when I'm walking around outside,
Right.
nature and so forth.
Yeah.
But when it comes to music and I'm playing, the highs are too much for me, so I don't wear them.
Yeah.
Well, I have been playing music without hearing aid anyway,
Yeah.
so it's no big deal for me.
Yeah.
And but I just don't wear hearing aid when I play.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't know that. So as far as like the lower registers, the bass notes and all.
Yeah, the lower register. That's a good question.
Because I hear you playing bass too on your left hand sometimes.
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
sort of play bass a little bit too,
Yeah.
but I'm not a bass player.
Yeah.
But I hear the basses, the lower decibels on the average way.
Right.
And so it does me justice.
Yeah.
But the highs on the hearing graph, it dropped off. Okay.
Okay,
The bass is pretty good for me.
Yeah.
But it can't be too loud either.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
definitely sounds.
so this is my normal.
Yeah.
You know, playing music without the hearing aid.
Yeah.
And then sometimes if I really want to hear the highs and other things in nature, yes, I wear hearing aid. And I walk around or whatever. Conversation,
Right.
and so forth,
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's it's amazing. It's an amazing story, and that's why I wanted to have you. If you were to ask me who some of the most interesting people that I know, you're definitely top of the list, man. That's why
Oh.
I'm like, I want to get Charles in here because I mean,
Okay.
you have an amazing story. To be able to play the way you play, and not hear. I mean, some of the most brilliant musicians, like maybe Beethoven, right? He was deaf.
Yes.
Writing-
He became deaf.
He became deaf. You're right.
Yes.
He did. But I mean, he was still hearing.
And that's
I
different.
mean, do you hear even though you obviously hear sounds in your head, right? Or
Yes.
right?
Yes, I do.
I mean, I hear. You know what I mean? Or maybe I'm just crazy, but I mean, I shouldn't be saying that. But I'm pretty sure Beethoven, when he was, he obviously heard in his head
Yes. Okay.
what he wanted to put on manuscript.
Yes, he did.
And I know it's a lot like that for you too.
It is, and there's a big difference.
Yeah.
Beethoven, according to history, became deaf because he was, as the story goes, he was on a train or something like that, and he almost fell off, and somebody grabbed him by the ear
Oh, really?
and pulled him back onto the train, a moving train,
Oh,
and it damaged his ear.
I didn't know that.
And he became deaf in
Later in life.
later in life,
Yeah,
or
okay.
at that point, and
Yeah.
then all his life.
Oh, I
okay,
see.
that's the difference.
Yeah.
And with me, I was
were born
born
with it.
with the hearing impairment,
Yeah.
and so I was used to it. I'm used to it all my life.
So as a young kid, I mean, you obviously had a great support system. Your mother, your
Exact
family,
family.
your sister's amazing.
Yes. of
And
course.
you. So at what age did you start in music?
Well,
in
another
music?
good question.
Yeah.
I didn't start when I was a baby, but I
Yeah.
started because I've heard music all my life since I was a baby.
Yeah.
But I started playing the piano at 12,
Okay.
around 12 years old.
Yeah.
And I just had to get up and just start playing on the piano. And I started emulating Ray Charles.
Yeah.
And I was influenced, something told me to get up and you try it.
Did you ever meet Ray?
No, I didn't. I never have. But I saw him. I almost did, and he was in my hometown in Anderson, Indiana. And
That's right. Yeah.
of course, I was too young. I couldn't go to the show. But I heard him on the radio. So
Yeah.
I was inspired to play, what was it? What I Say, the song called
Yeah,
What I
yeah.
Say, something like that.
Yeah.
Which later I've learned how to play.
Yeah.
And I was singing the song too at the time. I don't sing anymore now. Don't ask me. But anyway,
And I heard and Ray Charles. Now he played horn too, right? Didn't he?
yeah, something a little
Played
bit.
a little bit of horn too.
Yeah, but mostly just piano.
Yeah, piano.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And he's a great inspiration for me. My first inspiration.
I got to see him when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I saw him at the LA County Fair.
Okay.
I think it was the LA County Fair. It was awesome. No, it's a great story, Chuck.
Okay.
Just
okay.
having you here sharing your story.
Well, yeah.
I always tell people about you, and I'm sure everybody does out there.
Yeah, I hope
know.
so. Well, I
Well,
hope
that's
they-
what Ricky was telling me. That he had told all these people, and so Joe Sample knows who he is. He wanted to know who this deaf guy's playing his song around
yeah,
town or something.
Yes, yeah.
So,
But
yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
I will be playing with
Yeah.
the Pacific Breeze, my band, Pacific Breeze Jazz, November the 10th
November 10th.
at the Poorhouse, P-O-U-R, Poorhouse.
Pour, as in pour
Pouring
your
the
drink.
liquid.
Yeah.
And it's located in Monrovia. The address is 405 South Myrtle Street. The time we play is from 6 o'clock to 8:30.
All right, you guys-
November the 10th. That's Friday, November the 10th.
Friday, November the 10th, 6 to 8:30 at the Poorhouse in Monrovia. So you guys want to check that out for sure.
Sure.
Who do you have hitting with you that day?
That day is Bernard Williams on bass.
Amazing bass player Bernard Williams, another dear friend of mine. Which I haven't told you
Yeah.
yet, but he's going to come up on here too, and we're going to talk about bass. We'll talk about his story too.
Okay. And we have on drums Manahito Hawamachi. Manahito, we call him Minnow for short.
Uh-huh.
He's a great drummer too. And he will come out.
All right.
He'll be there. And then on saxophone is Walter Davis.
Great saxophonist. Uh-huh.
Okay. On the guitar is Michael Alvarado.
Bad.
Okay.
That's a bad band.
And sometimes we have a percussion player.
Yeah.
Percussion player is Brian Lear. Sometimes.
Okay.
So it depends. Sometimes we have 5 on board. Sometimes we have 6, which would include the percussion player.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes we have 7.
You guys have any vocalists coming in?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's another segment that we do.
I'm gonna have to bring Joan
And
out.
we back up.
Yeah.
Sometimes we back up vocalists. It's just on call.
Yeah,
Everybody
he's-
else is just on call. Depending on the gig
Yeah.
and whether they're available or not.
Right.
And I will call them and vocalist. And sometimes it can be bass player, drummer, saxophone, and percussion. So I may have to,
Yeah.
Create another segment, another band for that night.
Yeah, I want to be in that band.
Oh, okay. You got it.
Start practice next week.
You got it. Yeah.
So,
Okay.
is there anything that you want to share out there with the listeners? Anybody, like I said, any young kids coming up?
Yeah. Generally, the people who come out don't ask me how I play, how you do it, because I don't know. I just do it.
Oh.
I just play.
I like that.
And
You don't overthink things. You just-
no,
Yeah.
that's a good thing. No,
Yeah.
I don't overthink it because I lived it all my life.
Yeah.
So it's just something I love to do, to play
Yeah.
music and to give and to share with people, old and young.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters.
I've seen you do that your whole life. You're always mentoring young musicians, not just young musicians, some older musicians too.
Of course.
I've seen
of
you
course.
doing that. You have you always make time for people, for other musicians, and
I hope so. Yes, I do.
yeah,
I do.
no, absolutely,
I do.
and so you got November
10th.
We'll keep you posted about all the gigs coming up.
Okay.
And
All right.
we're gonna let everybody know, and we're gonna pack that house. Well, I'm sure
Okay.
it's already packed, right? You guys probably
Yes,
already
it
packing
is.
it. So you got to get there early then.
Yes,
you got to
do.
get there early.
To find a parking
Yeah.
spot.
No, I know.
and
I've been
a good
there.
seat.
I've been there. You got to get there
Okay.
early. The Poorhouse, November
The 10th.
the 10th, 6:30 to 8:30.
No, 6 o'clock to 8:30.
6 o'clock to 8:30, November 10th at the Poorhouse. You want to check out the Pacific Breeze Jazz
Yes.
Band.
And there's one more date.
Another date coming.
Yes.
So what date is that?
December the 1st.
December the 1st
At the Pearl House again.
at the Poorhouse.
A different time. 9 p.m. to 12 midnight.
There you have it. So make sure
Okay.
you join them. Get there early because I've been there before when they play, and I'm not kidding. This is an all-star band. You guys probably don't. These guys play with all kinds of great players around the world. Also, tell us a little bit about you were an executive producer or associate producer or something for Adam Hawley, the great guitar player.
Associate.
Associate. So
Associate
Yeah.
producer. Not the producer, but
But
associate.
I've seen another like we were talking about. Now I know he went to USC. He's a doctor now. He's highly
Yeah, the
educated.
PhD.
Great. He played. He's was former musical director for J-Lo.
Jennifer.
Jennifer Lopez.
Jennifer Lopez or somebody like that.
And now he's like, from what I understand, he's like a top 10 Billboard artist now.
Yes. Travels around the world and he's playing around.
But
And,
he was playing with you when he was at USC, and
Yes.
you kind of took him under your wing as well.
that was years ago, and he
Great musician, great guitar player. If you haven't had a chance to check out Adam's music, Adam Hawley, check him out on all platforms. He's an amazing guitarist.
Yeah.
And Charles, you had something to do with some of his success
Yes.
in the beginning, and
Of course, I introduced him to
and you
Ricky
did, right?
Larson at the time,
right.
back then.
yeah.
But he's out there doing it.
He is.
Doing his thing.
I've heard, he's
Him
one of
and his wife.
He's one of the biggest producers out there
Yes,
working
he's
with.
a producer now.
Yeah, I mean, he just has amazing stuff. Great
Yeah.
records, great records. So check that out, Adam Hawley.
And his wife,
His
Kat
wife, that's
Harley.
right, that's right.
Kat.
I remember when he was just coming fresh out of USC, and we were
Yeah.
doing some gigs with him.
Yes. And,
Yeah.
I played for his wedding.
Did you?
At the time,
Oh, wow.
when they got married and so forth. That was years ago.
Yeah.
So,
That's
anyway,
awesome. That's awesome.
that was
So
the time.
keep us up to date with all the new releases coming out from Adam.
Okay.
And then I have some projects too that I want to get you on.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then don't forget
okay.
you're gonna be playing with me December 2nd.
Okay.
So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna try to attempt to play some music here,
Okay.
broadcast out and play. We're gonna do a little kind of mini jam session.
Alrighty.
So let's see if we can get that rolling.
Okay.
Go ahead
Well, here we
and
go.
so we'll go ahead and move you down there.
Okay.
Stay tuned. Stand by. Go ahead, Chuck. You guys have a great week. We'll see you next week, 11 a.m. YouTube Live, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Title Talk with Corey. I'll have a special guest next week as well. We got Paul Castaneda of Team Castaneda will be joining us. Actually, he'll be here in the studio too. So we'll be live next week. And don't miss it. So we'll be sharing some good stuff up here for you guys.
I'm feeling good now, no one to bring me down. God is blessing on the ground, and I'm standing a little bit taller, and I'm standing a little bit taller now. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good.
I hate to tell you this, but I lied about everything.